sport fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Let's get straight into the episode.
Yeah, we heading for the sun. Charlie got my high, I ain't tripping for the funds. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stun.
Alright, y'all, today's a Monday and Monday's off for Docs. Thank you for clicking or tapping, and let's start today's spew. And guys, you've read the title of the video. I'm very happy to be welcoming to the Doxcast for the very first time. This is Luke Saunders.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Beautiful. Fuck yeah, crushed it. Alright, well, I have to say, appreciate you coming over. Really appreciate it.
Of course, it was a drive to get out of here. So
I was going to ask, how long was it?
I had to go to his house. He's about half an hour away from me. So his house, then out here was hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, good effort, bro. Good effort. I always appreciate a good drive to get in.
Oh,
you know
man.
what I mean?
It's fun. This is the end, bro.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Right. And to be honest, I love living here, but nothing happens out here.
Have you lived here your whole life?
I've lived maybe about 6 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, I lived here for a while. But I've lived everywhere Western Sydney. So like St. Mary's, Penrith, Mount Druitt, Rouse Hill, fucking Windsor, everywhere west.
Yeah, right. Everywhere.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Where are you from anyway?
I'm from Illawong. So it's it's Sutherland Shire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right. Have you ever heard of Menai?
Yeah.
Right next to Menai, basically.
Yeah, nice.
But,
I've done heaps of work. One of my mates, Jaden. Do you know a Jaden Howard?
Jaden Howard. I do know a Jaden. Does he have a brother, Brock?
I think he has a brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he does.
Brock was in my year at school.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, Brock Howard. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, nice, cool. Yeah, well, I have to give a shout out to Jono off camera. All right.
Yeah, Jono.
Nah, maybe they might be able to pick you. I'll boost the audio a little bit so they can hear you. He set this up today.
Suge Knight over there, man.
Yeah. I kind of, to be honest, I have no plan with any episode. I don't have things I have to get through. Like, it's not, I'm happy to see where the conversation goes. Yeah. I'm curious to see sometimes how deep it goes too, because I want to see how far people can swim, to be honest with you.
Bro, don't, we'll swim deep. Don't worry about that, man.
Yeah.
I can get deep.
Yeah, sweet. Well, yeah, I know you through Jono, and he was showing me your Spotify and your music and things like that.
Yeah.
And have to go without saying, shit's fire.
Right. I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. It's taken a long time to get there.
Yeah.
Fucking on,
Yeah.
Been doing it now since I started when I was a bit of a latecomer to starting. I started when I was 17.
Yeah.
Normally people are running around the house with guitars when they're fucking 4 years old, but I only started doing it when I was about 17, 18. I was year 12 when I started doing it. So.
And how old are you now?
24.
24.
I'm 24.
Nice.
25 in October. So
yeah, so 6-7 years, but
yeah.
Yeah,
well, fuck.
I feel like 10 years is a benchmark. As soon as people hit 10 years in anything, they start to fucking just really hit the next levels of evolution, you know?
But it's funny with music, like, it's probably with everything, but with music, it's like, until you start, like, noticing other people in the industry, you don't know, like, how deep music can actually go.
Yeah.
Like, you think you're so good at one level, and you hear a song from someone, and you're like, bro, what am I even doing right now? And you go back in, lock in for like a year, and you come out and you're like, fuck, I'm ready to go now.
Yeah,
and then you hear this person's evolved even more, and you're like, fuck sakes, man, what am I doing?
Everything's like that, but I swear to God, everything's like that. I used to do fighting a lot when I was younger, growing up and training and things like that, and it's like, I feel like I'd be getting better because I'm training with the same people over and over again. As soon as you go to another gym, I just got the shit kicked out of me 24/7.
Oh, bro.
And it's like, fuck, there's levels, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's levels to this shit, man. There's so much, especially in Sydney now, is like, because back in the day when I was first starting, it was like the Kid Laroi days, like when he was just starting out really.
Yeah.
And like you could see that there was just a level to him that was like, you know what I mean? Like there was always like people that was sort of around here, and it was just like Kid Laroi. As soon as you heard his name, you're like, yeah, he's the one. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
And then like, it's the same shit's happening now. Like there's just so much underground talent that's just yet to be discovered.
Yeah.
And I think once a few of them get discovered, man, it's just gonna.
Yeah.
The whole of Sydney would just like, because when the Kid Laroi blew up back then, it was he was sort of like, this might sound a bit whatever, but I feel like he was like his own like entity, you know what I mean? Like he was his own thing. So like when he did blow up in America, people would try to listen to Australian artists, and it just wasn't that.
Yeah.
Wasn't that flat, like consistent people.
Yeah, I didn't think about it from that perspective either, because we've only really got, and we've only ever really had gutter rap. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
Cursor, fucking Enter. And trust me, as a youth, I grew up and I was like, fucking ashtrays, bro.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
get out of here. You know?
Yeah, you gotta respect them though. They're like the pioneers of that.
Yeah,
shit, man.
100%.
Just Cursor and them.
They set the roadmap for everyone, you know? But then, obviously, drill took off crazy from 1-4.
Drill's huge, massive.
But, yeah, there was no one at all like Laroi. I never even had that realization till now.
Yeah, nah. Well, yeah, like, it seems to be the way with, like, Australia, especially, like, there's, like, one certain, I guess, style that will blow up at once. So, like, when drill's going up, it's like, drill's the thing. But there's, like, R&B artists from Australia and just all artists, really. There's just so much talent here. They just don't get the recognition that they fucking deserve, man.
I wonder what it is, but, like, what do you reckon that is? Like, because I think about it all the time, too. And, like, I kind of have people that I know that are dribbling into things, like it might be DJing or techno, or it might be like just solo female artists and things like that. And I know a couple people who are dabbling into R&B, but in their worlds, like they're a part of this entire clique. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a fucking clue what happens in like these band cultures, but I know that my mates that are in them are in this entire community and atmosphere of this shit happening. But it's not noticed by everyone else, you know?
No, is
it just because we have such a smaller population maybe that does it? Or maybe, to be honest, I kind of look at it like this as well. Like, what I think of when I think of Australian culture is not giving a fuck what anyone else is doing, you know what I mean? Like, you're only interested in what
in
you're
yourself,
doing.
bro.
Yeah.
It's very cliquey, you know what I mean? Like, it's, there's certain, like, cliques, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's hard to get love from, you know, these people that are up here. Like, it's really hard to get that sort of love. But once you start getting it, you sort of see it all coming at once, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's sort of like, it's almost like if you get accepted by one, you're accepted by them all type thing. And
it's kind of like,
which is fair enough as well too, because
Yeah.
like, you know, there's, I think on Spotify, like you can look it up. I'm pretty sure there's like 100,000 songs get uploaded daily.
really?
There's like, bro, there's just so much going out there. It's like, for these people that are up here, like, you know, they gotta delegate their time properly. You know what I mean? You can't just go, oh, everyone that messages me, I'm gonna do everything for. Like, it's just not like that.
It's not. And to be honest, I've even struggled with that personality trait growing up my whole life, because it's like I try and just create as many friends as possible, and then all of a sudden you start feeling bad because you can't give everyone enough time anymore, and you kind of just have to keep your circle small. It's not even like a choice. It's not possible to be able to, even as simple as a thing like having a work-life balance with friends and family, and then also having a hobby on the side, like making music or doing podcasts, something like that.
Yeah.
That's hard enough. You know what I mean?
Oh. Right, it takes up so much more time than you can even believe, man.
Yeah. And I see a lot of relations between things like music and even any form of digital media as well. But I'm also real curious as well to go back to when you first, at 17, started making music. Who were you looking up to at that time? Like, who was the person and people that made you go, fuck yeah, I want to do it?
Bro, it's funny actually how I started doing music, because back when I was like 17 or 18, do you remember, like, do you ever watch YouTube back in the day?
Yeah. Back in the day.
Back in the day when, like, they were doing all the diss tracks.
Yeah.
Bro, in our group chat at school, we'd come to school and be like, bro, did you hear KSI's new diss track on this? Or did you hear this? Did you hear this? And it'd be like the talk for like the morning. Everyone would be talking about that diss track that just came out. I remember like the boys were like saying, oh, we should write diss tracks on each other. And we're like, yeah, fuck it. Like, let's do it. So we were all writing like diss tracks on each other. And I had done one on one of my mates, Gabby.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Gabby in a long time. But
Yeah.
I wrote that on Gabby, and I was like, fuck, I'm just going to film it. So I like put the phone next to me, had my iPad going with the beat, and I had my old iPhone, and I'm reading the notes on it.
Yeah.
And I filmed it and I sent it in like our group chat. It was just as like a joke thing.
Yeah.
And all the boys were like, fuck, this is actually like really good. Like,
Yeah, mad.
it wasn't like good, but they were like, fuck, like,
Didn't expect it.
like they were like, fuck, this is actually better than like it should be.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, like, so I wrote another one, And I did another one. They said,
Was it to the same guy? Did you do him again?
nah, I did someone else on this side. Fuck, should have done double down on it. Eh?
Yeah.
Nah, but I did. So I did another one on another one, and then I had broken up with my girlfriend at the time. Well, I'll say situationship, wasn't really girlfriend, but
Yeah.
like we were talking for like, we were like a thing for like maybe 8 months or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like first love type shit.
Yeah.
And I remember it like fucking destroyed me back then. And the only way like I really dealt with it back then was writing. Because I got, when I was at a younger age, I was really good at creative writing. Like in English, literally the only thing I was good at in English. I couldn't read, right. I couldn't actually spell, couldn't do anything like that. But like my creative side of me would always be like, I've always been like a good drawer, or I've always been a good thing to make up stories and shit like that. So yeah, when I started writing those diss tracks, like I'd sort of, in a way, sort of noticed, I'm like, oh, maybe like this is, I like writing songs and stuff. And then when I was going through that shit with the girl, I was like, fuck, let me write my feelings down and just see what happens. And that's just literally how it started. Like there was no reason to go like, oh, like I see this person doing that, I'm gonna go do that. Like it was literally just, at the time I just felt like, I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna write down what I feel.
Yeah.
And then because we had done those diss tracks, I was like, fuck, let's try and make it to a song. And I did that, and then been doing the same thing ever since. Hey,
bro, honestly, it was a fucking hectic answer. I love that too, because I also find a mad commonality when I talk to people who have a creative form of expression, is they have many other forms of creative expression as well. You know, they just have one that's shining higher than the other ones. But it's interesting that you kind of have combined multiple different aspects of your creativity together to get to this, and it wasn't just like a split decision. Like, oh fuck yeah, I want to do tracks, because I got mates that do tracks and shit like that, and they'll be like, oh, jump on one. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, why not, man? I got fucking...
He was telling me, actually, Jono was telling me he used to rap a little bit. Yeah, off camera, I got to hear this.
Yeah, I'll put it on camera. I'll just put a link at the end, bro. I'll put it for everyone to hear. Honestly, like, it makes me laugh thinking about the fact that I have shit on SoundCloud, because I ain't a rapper at all. But I actually think it's fucking hectic too. You know what I mean?
Fuck, I'm gonna listen to this, right? Straight out.
Yeah, it's not bad. But oh, sorry, my fucking nose itching.
I feel like in that sense, there like a lot of people do start making music because it's like, oh, like I want to do this, I want to do this, da da da. But I do feel like for music, there's people that continue doing music. The music finds them. You don't find music. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you talk to someone that's like, oh, just fucking let's do this. Bless you.
Thank you. Hallelujah.
And they just go, oh, let's fucking do this, da da da, and they start making music, and it's like a 6-month thing, and then they're like on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Like there's someone that I guess hasn't, like the music hasn't found them, you know, they don't relate to what they're making. So it's hard to, you know what I mean? It's hard to keep that. And something that you don't really connect with, like you probably understand with your podcast, like
100%.
You're loving doing it and you're connecting with people. It's probably like what you're enjoying is the connection with people, more than just like saying, oh, I want to do podcasts just because it's the cool thing to do. You know what I mean? It's like different.
And you can choose, sorry to cut you off, I do this all the time.
Yeah,
but like I could choose to focus on the fact that like, oh, I could try and set this up as a full-time gig and try and get sponsors and do things that create clicks and views and things. And it's like, I feel like a lot of people want to do podcasting for that reason. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's a cool life to live. Like, if you didn't have to work and shit like that. But that takes away the fundamentals behind why I want to do it, which is very similar to why you start doing music, because it's what you enjoy doing, you know?
Exactly right, bro. You don't want to, like, I love, like, obviously, I'd love to make it this big time thing, but there is limits to, like, you know, that music thing. I never want to lose that, like, you know, just that connection that I do have with music, you know what I mean? Like, if I feel a way, I can just go there, put my phone on Do Not Disturb, headphones on, and just say what I fucking feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's that connection that I just have with music, and music has it with me, is like, it's my way of coping with things in my life, you know? Like, if something goes on, like, I'm just straight into the studio, or I'm straight upstairs into my own like home studio, and I'm just locking in making a song. And it's not to make like a song to be like, oh bro, listen to this shit, like it's the craziest thing ever. So it's just like, that's how I deal with shit sometimes. Yeah. It's probably like sometimes you know, you don't make the best song, but it's like I've got that feeling out of me. You know what I mean?
Bro, I'm so glad you said that, because it's actually exactly the same thing, which is what the concept of journaling is. You know what I mean? You don't journal, and you can journal to try and find answers to things, but you mostly just journal to be able to get out what you want and throw it out into the universe. And I don't know, I'm happy to go into it in a minute about how deep you think about manifestation and fucking all these kind of things as well, but it's the same kind of principle behind it. It's you just want to get something out, you know? And I'm curious, would you, and obviously I'd love it if you become successful, I have faith you will, if the reason for doing so is just for passion. Would you keep doing it forever if you never got success from it?
I think music will always be a part of me. I don't think I'll. There's been times where I've been making music, and like last year, I went over and I was over in England for about 6 months. Like I was going through a lot of shit, and I just thought, you know what, fuck it, I just need to get out of this place. So I took time completely off music, pretty much the whole year. Didn't make music. I was trying not to think about music and all that. But it's those times that you step away and how much you miss it. You go, fuck yeah, like. Like when I was over there, I was like my parents were there, my brother's living over there at the moment, and it's like I just can't wait to get back and just fucking get back into it. You know what I mean? Like it was literally, I had been away for about 3 months and had that break, because sometimes you need that break. You know what I mean? You can't. It's the same stuff as like anything in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go through ups and downs in work life, with relationships, family, everything. Like literally your friendships. Like you can be at the highest point with your girlfriend or your parents or whatever, and just that little thing, you're like, fuck, I just need to step back. You know what I mean? And it's not like to say, I hate this situation, or I hate this, or I hate music. It's just like, I just need a break. Yeah. And that's why I felt like I was like, stepped away from it. And bro, I just missed it, bro. I missed it. And I was fuck, I need to get back into this. So as soon as I got back, I jumped straight into it.
Yeah. I kind of look at everything in life the same way you just described it, but for people like John and myself and people who have a trade in anything to do with electricity, is you have what's called a sine wave. So everything goes up and everything goes back down. It's constant. I think everything in life ripples in the exact same way. There's theories as to life is just electricity in general, but if you understand that it's going to go back down, just like we're talking about with relationships and family and things like this and hobbies, not only will you appreciate the rise more and at the top, but it makes it easier when things go back down too, because you know it's going to come back up.
Yeah, exactly.
But the key ingredient is consistency. You know what I mean? You have to be able to keep going at it in order for it to go back up.
That's it, bro. I go by a little like saying. I love my sayings, bro. Like I always, I have them in my notes, bro. I love them.
But my notes is stacked.
Yeah, bro. There's this one. It's like even dreams have nightmares. You know what I'm saying? Say like so. Fuck. When you're along when you're having that dream, like you can go to sleep tomorrow, you're gonna have a nightmare, but you know that next night it's gonna be a dream. And maybe it's gonna be a nightmare. You have 2 nightmares in a row. Yeah, there's always gonna be a dream. You know what I mean? Like so, it's just the same as life. Like you're gonna have those days where there's shit. Right? I'm a tradie. I do shop fitting as well. Yep. Bro, that is the shittest trade. Like, you don't understand.
That was my next question. How's it feel?
It is the shittest trade, like, ever, man. And, you know, some days you go in there and you're like, oh, I got a good job today. Like, I'm doing this. But on the base of it, you're building a fucking cabinet, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for, like, minimum wage, bro. It's like, so you just, So, like, I go in there, I have some of the shittest days ever. Yeah. Like, I know the next day, I don't take it serious because it's like, he knows. Like, Jono off camera, he knows. I'll message him on a Monday morning at 6 a.m. saying, what am I doing with my life, bro? Literally, pretty much every Monday we send that message to each other. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh, bro. To be honest, that's me every day. every fucking day.
Every time you open your eyes, you're like, bro, what the fuck am I doing right now?
Bro, I swear, I'll put myself to sleep every night and I'll be like, yeah, fuck yeah, tomorrow I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to fucking kill the day. And then I wake up and I go, who the fuck was that?
Yeah, bro.
Life's so
every
shit.
time. Yeah,
You know what I
literally.
mean?
You're like, bro.
And then you get into it and obviously you feel better straight away.
Yeah,
But
okay,
you never
sure.
wake up like, oh my God.
I don't know how people wake up motivated.
Bro,
Real shit. I don't know
try
how
so
people
hard.
do it. Even
yeah.
when I sleep in, like people will be saying, like my mom or dad will say, like, oh, you know, like it's because you wake up at like 5. You know what I mean? Like you don't see the sun in the morning. This, that, the other. It doesn't matter if I had like a 12-hour sleep. I wake up midday.
Yeah.
I'm still waking up like fuck this.
Yeah, why me? You know what I mean?
Every day. It doesn't matter.
You don't wake up like, oh, thank God. You wake up like, for fuck's sake, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're up, you're chilling. But
Yeah, I'm the same. But it's just, I always think about the fact that how can I shut my eyes one person, wake up a whole different
oh,
motherfucker,
bro,
bro?
it is crazy, man.
I could give myself, I'll even like, say I want to wake up and go for a run. That's the thing I'm trying to create a habit to do. I don't do it. I just try. I'll get my fucking tracksuit ready, my fucking undies, socks, everything there, water bottles there next to the bed, go to bed way earlier than I should,
Yeah.
wake up, fuck off.
Yeah, no way.
Not happening.
Even a little bit cold.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I can't do that shit, bro.
And this is what me and John are talking about today. You wake up so cold every day. You're like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. But then like today, we woke up, we weren't cold, and we're like, something ain't right.
It's
Today ain't the day,
true.
bro. It ain't the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always something when you wake up, bro.
Yeah.
There's always something.
I want to talk about work for a second before we go back to music. And I'm
Yeah.
curious because if you don't like what you're doing, right? Do you enjoy it at all?
Yeah, like if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like so, like my whole workforce I work in the factory. So in my factory, I think I'd say probably 50% of them are my age.
Yeah.
They're all boys I go out with on the weekends. Like they're proper mates of mine. You know what I mean? So like, I go like if they weren't there, it'd be a lot shitter. You know what I mean? So it's like those your colleagues, they're not really my colleagues. They're like my mates. You know what I mean?
Boys.
So they're the boys literally. So like, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I go home and my brother who works in I won't say where he works, but at where he works, he struggles a lot because he's older people, and so he struggles to have that sort of connection with people like, you know, his age, and they're a bit nerdy, the people that are his age and don't want to go do things he wants to do. So, and he's been through 3 jobs, I think, like that.
Yeah.
And the same thing, and so
Does it fit the job title in your opinion? Like it makes sense why most people.
well, he does. He's IT, like he's basically
yeah.
IT for he does like websites and shit for companies, and like he enjoys the work, but it's just hard. It's hard when you don't have those connections with people. You know what I mean? It's like it's probably like every job. Like it's just shit work, but it's just like at least you got people you interacting with. And
I couldn't
stuff.
work in a bullpen of just like 10 people surrounded with the fucking one, no talking, no friendship, like
No friendship. Yeah, that's the worst.
like to be honest, I'd rather just not work. I'd just rather just fucking get the dole.
Yeah, real shit.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy aspects of work. Like obviously we do a lot of high end joinery as well. So we do a lot of like kitchens and a lot of, we're doing UNE Parramatta at the moment, and there's a lot of like curve work and timber work, and that's really nice shit, but which also comes with the really nice expensive stuff. It's also that quick trash, you know what I mean? Like the lockers and it's just like white boxes, and then just send them out. Then they're just brain numbing. Like as I said to you, like my creative side.
Yeah.
If
that's
my brain,
the pieces I was putting together.
if my brain is numb, like it's just just like I'm hating life.
Yeah.
At least with like curve shit where I'm doing, you know, some that curves are all the way around, like my brain's working, it's active. It's like, okay, I got to do that. I got to worry about this or something. So,
and to be honest, it is the same concept and it's the same principles as using a creative expression, because you're actually putting thought and effort into making something that you appreciate. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I noticed that a lot of people do like about trades. It's not many people, like, to be honest, we're Fridgies, like not many people love refrigeration because it's like, oh, it's so good to make something cold.
Yeah,
Who gives a fuck? You find the things inside the job that you can be proud of, like, oh, I can make this look as neat as possible, like things like that. And that's actually, it's almost like that's the only thing people need in their life in order to feel happy about themselves, is to be able to be proud of the thing that they've created. You know,
right, literally.
It's the missing piece that a lot of people don't have in their life. They can't be proud of things that they're trying to build, whether it be. So it might be a company, it might be a social media brand, it might be music, podcasting, video editing, art, painting. I feel like a creative expression of any sort is what a lot of people lack, especially when they're looking for purpose and things like that. But inside music, I'm curious to see, like, how do you look at it, especially as an outsider, because I don't do it, but do you give yourself a schedule? Do you give yourself, like, I have to do this? Do you set yourself a window in which this is my time to create, and if you don't do it, do you feel like shit? You know what I mean? I missed it.
I've learned over the years of doing that. When I first started, I used to, like, I'd be in a studio session, and a studio session can just say last 5 hours. And
I didn't know that. That's nuts.
Yeah, bro. Like, well, I'm doing studio sessions every Tuesday at the moment, and most weekends I'll be in there as well. And like those sessions, I'll be there on a Tuesday night from 5 p.m. till about 2 a.m.
Oh my God.
And there's been times on, like 2 weeks ago, I was in there on a Saturday. I got there at 10 a.m. and I didn't leave till 4 a.m. the next day. I was there for fucking so long, like, and it's like, but yeah, going back to what you're saying, like, I used to, when I first was starting to do it, I'd have the studio for 5 hours and I'd go, okay, plan is I'm coming out with 6 songs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming out there with 6 songs, and I'd come out there with and I'd probably leave there with 6. They'd all be average.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh yeah, these, like, 2 of them are really good. 4 of them are like whatever. So it's like dedicating, going like in there with sort of like your expectations is going to kill your creativity. You know what I'm trying to say?
I love that. I never thought about that.
Yeah, because if you expect something, your mind's not letting, like, you're like narrowed in on that idea. Yeah. Whereas if you just go in there like brain free, ideas popping everywhere. Like, I got all these boys that come through. I normally try to get at least, like, my producer, Kid Ecstasy, he will come through every session, and he's always making the beats in there, and he will chuck in like creativity, like it just helps with people's like ideas and stuff like that, because sometimes you can go in there and you're just stuck on what you want to do.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, like, I want to do this or something, and someone will just say one word and everything will start going boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? So it's good to have those creative people surrounding you, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so even on one of my songs, Jono, who's got like no music fucking
ability.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
He in my song In Your City, that just came out last month, he told me there was a part in the song where he goes, oh, that sounded sick when you like cut the beat there. You should actually do that as the song. I'm like, we'll try it. That's the hardest part of the song.
Yeah,
like, literally, like, without him being there and saying that, I wouldn't have my favorite part of the song.
That's so hectic.
You know what I mean? And that's
to be honest, you couldn't have expected that. You know what I mean? If you had an expectation like, I'm going to do this, something like that, you would have never got that. And it kind of, I have been building on this idea for a very long time. I want to know what you think of it as well. That it's almost like ideas and thoughts don't really come from within most of the time. It's almost like they come to you. So if you remove the expectations, like, I'm going to create something, you now have opened your mind to let things kind of happen through you. You know, and it doesn't matter if you've booked in what you do an 18-hour session, whatever, you know what I mean, the other day. Then you've just allowed yourself all the free time for things to start coming through you, you know? And I feel it's deep as fuck, and to be honest, it's probably wrong. But I feel like most things want to come to life. This is an easy way to explain it. Like, a iPhone was only an idea that kind of used people to come to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, bro. As I said before, music found me.
Yeah. And
it's the same thing. Like, ideas, anything in life will find you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's meant, like, for me, like I'm a religious. I'm not super religious, but I do believe in God. I do think God guides us through every step of the way. And I do think on our path that he's given us, there's things that he's chucking at us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're sort of like a I can't even think what it is. Just say like we're like a Velcro like entity that's just walking along this thing. Things that get chucked at us. There'll be things that will find you and will stick.
Yeah.
There's also things that will fly past you and you'll see it and you go, oh,
yeah,
I don't want to do that. Yeah, that's like your little
opportunity. As
but that's like your little 3-month thing of like doing music. That's like that, or your 3-month thing of like doing something. It'll be on your road, but it's not meant to stick on you.
It might just be a girl that came into your life for
exactly,
a second.
Bro.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a. I saw this TikTok not long ago actually, and it was this guy explaining. I'll try to explain it more like a more sense way. But it was basically saying like life is like you trying to get to this destination, right, from your house. Like for me to get to here, how many roads did I have to take?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and each turn, you know what I mean? So like every road that is for me to get to my destination, it could be 200 meters long. It could be fucking 4Ks long or whatever. Or you could like, these are people coming into your life, like as you going on this road with this person, oh, that's not the road I need to be on. I'm going to go switch here. You know what I mean? You're all working towards a destination.
Yeah.
And then one day you'll hit the highway where there's lanes on your road, there's lanes.
Yeah.
And they're your people, they're your friends, your family, your goals, your aspirations. That's your lanes. But you're all going to that one destination. You know what I'm trying to say? So
100% I get what you're saying. And I see the relation too because I'm also a believer myself. I believe in a God. I feel like my God guides me through my life and everyone else in their lives as well. And I get the analogy when it comes to like some things stick with you along the way and God is there. We have our path in front of us that we're meant to follow, right? But we also have been given the gift of free will, which is crazy because we could choose to just follow the path we've been given, but we've been blessed with the opportunity to go fuck shit up along the way. You know what I mean?
exactly right.
If we didn't have the lows of life wouldn't be as great at the same time because walking down a path without free will is just slavery. You know what I mean? You're just a victim at the end of the day. But because we can choose to go against our intuitions and gut feelings and like, oh, I might dab into this little fucking toxic fucking chick for a while or I might go, ingest a little bit of this substance for, the next few months. We have the freedom to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And just as important as knowing what your destination is and knowing what you want, by going down these side streets on the way to get to your destination, you learn what you don't want. You know what I mean? So you can cross those things off a list. Or it's like, oh fuck, I'm glad I tried it, but that ain't for me. You know?
Well, that's like when if you're driving late at night, like on the road to your destination or whatever. It's like sometimes you do turn into a straight and you're like, fuck, what's this straight? Let me get out. You know what I mean? It's the same in life. It's like sometimes you go down a lane with a toxic girl. Yeah. Like, fuck, actually, I don't want this. Just sack that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro, it's just. That's what I always think, man. Like, God's always got us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No matter how bad shit gets, like, God's always there, you know what I mean? And he's got the plan for you, and you just gotta stay. You gotta stay like what's the word, like?
I kind of know what the word you're looking for is, and I struggle.
Just stay believing, pretty much. It's just like just stay.
I
on
would say
track.
open. You got to stay.
Yeah, stay open.
open.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Because I find that in my life too, and I'm going to quickly get this because I was going to forget it. Speaking of going down the wrong street onto your destination, I'm curious to know if anyone else has had this thought yet. You know how they're doing the M7, M5 shit, at the moment? Have you ever thought of just going into that fucking trades area and just skipping all the traffic and just driving down?
Oh, bro, I know exactly what you're talking about. And
I think I might do it, bro.
Bro, do it.
Who's stopping you? You know what I mean? I know it's not the right road, but I gotta do it.
Yeah, you have to.
But it's kind of like, and the idea in God is only really a new idea for me. I've never had a religious family. No one in my family is a believer, and I have friends that do believe, but also don't believe in the same things they believe. So I'm kind of trying to figure it out as I go. But I've learned that if we say this is what we want, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to get there, God will give us everything we need to do it. But if we can stay open-minded, where it's like, I also don't know what my destination is. I don't even know. I just think I know. And I know you're going to give that to me. Like, an opportunity might come past that looks like that thing that flew by, and you might choose to let that stick to you and find out that's the thing that you want along the way as well. You know,
Yeah.
you can, and it's like, because I've said, and I believe this, that life will give you whatever you want. You have to take risks, try your hardest, stay consistent, but it will give you whatever you want. You won't get what you want when you want it, but you'll get it. But the funny thing I'm learning now is you don't even know what you want. You know what I mean? The life will just give it to you.
That's it, bro. Life, like, bro, it's like the way life works is funny. You know what I mean? Like, bro, in 2 years, you could be making music, I could be doing a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, literally, it's like, you never know what fucking direction it's gonna go.
It might even be the case, to be honest. It's like actually a high chance. You know what I mean?
Probably gonna happen, actually. But but yeah, bro, like, it's just life, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I
Fucking
mean?
hectic. I love it, bro. I love the fact that
it's gonna be ups and downs, and there's gonna be twists and turns, bro. Just fucking keep going, man.
Yeah, I love it. It's mad. I love the fact that it's fucking also going to get shit, because then it's like, oh, fuck yeah. When it's shit, it means it's going to get better later. You know what I mean? And then I've had this quote that I've been reoccurringly saying on the podcast recently that's like, you just have to always keep in mind, this too shall pass. Just those 4 words. Because when things are going really good, this too shall pass. It's going to go back down. But then when you're feeling like shit, it's comforting knowing this too shall pass as well. You know? And I'm curious as well, if you used to be able to write, I'm circling back to what you said before, if you used to be able to write in English and you found the enjoyment in the creative writing and things like this, and now you've kind of merged a couple things together to create music, are you still doing any form of creative expression at the same time? Are you still doing any writing or journaling or drawing or anything like that?
To be honest, I do, like, my, like, for music, bro, like, the creativity process between like for music is just like endless. Yeah. And my mind is just completely locked on like the whole writing process of a song, then finding the right sounds and melodies to putting them together, then in the post-production you're being like, okay, I want to add some more stuff here, I want to do this. Then you're at work the next day listening to music and you hear some random sound, you're like, fuck, that sounds so sick in this song that I did. Yeah. Go back and do that in that song, makes it. And then when you do that part, you go, oh fuck, I should have said this in this part, I'll change that. You know what I mean? So it's like there's so much creativity involved in music, but I find
that's it.
I just like my whole mind is just set. Like if I'm ever, like Johnny probably could say the same thing. Like when I'm in the studio, my mind just fucking rolls, man. Like it just goes from here to there to here to there. Like it's just, I'm just in like, there'll be times where like I'll sit down, I'll talk to the boys and like just chat shit, whatever. But like if you just watch me for like those 18 hours that I was in there for the studio, there was probably 16 of those hours I was just looking at the computer or like, where my mind's active. Where at work my mind's active for maybe 20 minutes, like for a full day. Like real shit. But so there's just like those, it's just like being able, all the creativity that's involved in music is just like, you know, it's just, it gets me. You know what I mean? So
it's almost like there's no need to try and put it anywhere else because it's already got things that you put.
Well, like that creative writing in a sense as well, like is, I'm using that on writing my music. Or the drawing, it's sort of like I'm drawing an idea in my mind of how I want this song to be, you know what I mean? And that's where my drawing goes to, you know what I mean? And there's just, there's so many aspects in music, bro. Like, I think a lot of, like, you can't look how deep, like, a fucking song is, man. Like, how many sounds are in a beat, how many melodies are, like, in a voice, how many cadences are in a voice, it's like...
Oh, bro, I kind of have the little bit of understanding on it because I've made like a couple songs myself, but also really watching my mates put effort into their SoundClouds and things like that. Is I'm seeing the evolution and I also notice it now when I'm listening to music in general, but it's not just the lyrics you say to line up with the beat, but it's how you say each lyric to make the point. You know what I mean? It might just be a simple word, but it needed to be hit harder. And it's in the middle of a fucking entire bar.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking insane. I feel a very similar thing. I don't have any more forms of creative expression. I've always done things like journaling. I've always done things like, I don't know how I will get, but what I'm trying to get at is like the littlest details that go into like a podcast, which is such a easy, it sounds like a fucking full simple thing, which it is if you want to just say it's just two people talking with a camera and a mic. But especially when you go back and edit it, you have to find the exact right second to cut between things. You have to emphasize audio in certain sections. Like, then you got your intros, your outros, your song choices, your vibe you're going for. Yeah. It's a whole picture. You know what I mean? It's
your whole image, bro. Like, I say this to like a lot of my boys, are DJs, and one of the boys especially is only really just starting out. Unreleased, that's his name, DJ Unreleased. He's just starting out, and his actual name's Damo. But he messages me a lot about like, what's like your opinion? Like, what should I do? This, that, the other. And I'm always like, your image is bigger than the music you make. You know what I mean? Like, really, because you can make the best stuff in the world, whatever. If you don't have an image to go with it, like, you can't stand out. You know what I mean? So, to circle back to the creativity thing as well, I was just going to say, my mate Aaron, he's my like main photographer and videographer. He's been my mate since primary school, like been my best mate since kindergarten. And his creativity for like photography and really in everything, like he designs clothing for me and his own clothing and stuff like that. Like his creativity is off chops, bro. But like he we sort of sit down with each other at least once a week and just talk about like what photos we want to get. What like if you go on my Instagram.
Oh, I have, bro. It's heat.
Yeah,
it's
like literally every photo is like
it's thought out.
It's thought out.
I can tell it's thought out because I do the same thing. Like mine's different because my image and my brand I'm going for is personality based. You know what I mean? It's not an aesthetic thing. Yeah, it's more like a trip inside my mind.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what podcasting needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's to be honest, and it's like this has nothing to do with what we're saying, but I'll get back to it. But it's like I've always wondered what my niche is in a way, you know what I mean? Especially something like a hobby. You kind of think, what is defining my style? Yeah. You know? Also known as image as well. But it's like I don't have anything I want to talk about. I don't have anything that I need to talk about. I'm not trying to push an agenda and I'm not trying to interrogate. Like realistically, I'm on a self-development journey. And that's what the podcast is. It's me becoming a better version of myself every day by having as many good conversations as I can. And that's kind of the thing that a lot of my mates are finding in relation to because everyone's on the same journey, you know? Yeah. So it's like, it's nice to have an image and work on it. And I do it with my Insta. I think hard and I put effort into the things I want to post when I want to post and things like that. But it's also a really hard thing to do on your own. So the fact that you're creating a team of people to do that with is the end goal that a lot of people don't have. There's this, do you know who Patrick Bet-David is?
No, I don't think so.
He has his own podcast now, but his backstory is he was like grew up is an Assyrian man who grew up in the military, wanted to get into business. So before he did, he read 1,000 books on business, and he got into.
I think I've heard of this. I think I've heard of this guy.
Oh, he recently just sold his business for hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay, yeah.
And now he just creates content for people to enjoy, and he's got great philosophy. One of them is. He knew before he even started to get rich, right, I want to get rich. And the only way for me to do that is to help other people get rich. We have to get rich together. I have to create a group of people to have one common mind. We all get rich. And that's the way everything goes to the next level, bro.
Teamwork makes the dream work, bro. Real shit. Like,
hard out.
Yeah, it's, bro, like having people around you it's almost underrated. Yeah. Bro, like, I got a little like team. I call it's Going Ghost is like the name of it, and it is sort of like a team of us where it's just like we're all in it for the same reasons. Yeah. We're all in it to come up together. It's not like about me being the biggest artist in the world. Because if I'm the biggest artist in the world, just say like I'm Kid Laroi and I'm the biggest artist in the world, this, that, the other, I'm making millions off this and all that. If Johnny is still going fucking doing piping, I've failed.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If Aaron, who's my photographer, if he's still gone to his 9 to 5 job, I've failed.
Yeah.
If Seb, who's my producer, if he's still building cabinets every day, I've failed. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if I'm this biggest star. It's like these people, like all my mates have been there since the start and supported me through the toughest times of my life. It's like, who the fuck am I just to leave them behind? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's sort of like saying, well, you boys are helping me now. Why wouldn't I be helping you achieve your goals? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not like a selfish person. Like, of
course.
No way, bro. Like, if you're helping me out, like, I'm helping you out. You know what I mean? It'll always be that way. Like,
yeah,
I've been through, you know, putting yourself out like that does get you hurt sometimes, like, because people will use you like fuck. But like, at the end of the day, my morals are like saved. You know what I mean? My morals are like,
yeah. Someone asked me a question recently on a few episodes ago. He goes, if the whole world was evil and just kept doing you wrong and you wanted to remain a good person, but every time you tried to help someone out, the world tried to tempt you and say, come on, just fucking be like us. We're all shit. You know, be like us.
Yeah.
Do you eventually give up or do you stick by your morals, you know? And it's like the deeper you think about it, the harder it really is to answer. But the natural instinct, which you get to in the end, is like, I got to stay true to myself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just, and it is a big piece of the puzzle, that to say great gratitude to the people that were there for you originally. So I want to be able to pay you back. You know, when I get to a certain level, I'd love to be able to help you get there as well.
Mm.
And that is a good aspect that a lot of people should have, a lot of people don't. But I kind of think the truth is it might not be possible because you have to do it together in the first place. You know,
exactly.
I don't think you can become successful by yourself. I don't know if that's a thing, you know?
No, you have to. Even like if you have no one, bro, like you've got family, or if you don't have family, there's one friend, or there's you always have somebody, you know what I mean? And even if they're not helping you in any sense of like your music or your podcast or whatever, if they're your mate, they're giving you that moral support, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, even if they say like, oh, I don't really like your music, but keep going, you know what I mean? That's all you need is like someone to just go, oh, keep going. It's like, oh.
Yeah. So my mates are like that too. I have ideas all the time, and to be honest, I struggle with the concept of like, is this destiny or am I delusional? I'm always battling this battle with a lot of different endeavors. But my mates often say to me, look, bro, I reckon you're delusional, but I got your back. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, bro.
Go for it. And it's like, you know?
Yeah, it's the way, bro. I always say that if anyone comes to me with like pretty much any idea and goes like, oh, this is my idea, I'll give them my honest feedback on it.
Yeah.
And support you through it. That's it. Like, if it's like the stupidest idea I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I think it's just stupid, but like, if you think so, like, I'm all for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just like the little, maybe like your friends can tweak things. You know what I mean? Like when I was doing music back 2 years ago or whatever, I used to have, even now, like if I make something shit, like, trust me, Johnny or Adam or Aaron or any of the boys, they're gonna tell me, bro, this is shit. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about that. If I'm in there making something, and like I'm halfway through it, and in my head I'm like, fuck, this is crazy, this thing. And I come out of the studio, like I come out of the booth and I go, what do you reckon? And they look at me like, this is trash. I'm like, all right. And I listen back to it in the second one. I'm like, no, it's trash. You know what I mean?
It's that second one that helped so much for me as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think, fuck, this is such a great idea. Someone goes, dumb. I go, oh yeah, fuck. That's
dumb.
Yeah.
And that's a really good way to be. You got to like, because people do get this misconception, I guess, is like, they think like, oh, a hater, to say, or someone that's not liking what you're doing is always wrong. And it's not right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, haters or the people that don't like what you're doing or whatever, a lot of the time they are just like haters, and they're just like they're
especially commenters and shit.
Yeah. But I don't know if this maybe if I start getting bigger in music or when I start getting bigger in music and stuff like that, my like ideas will change on it. But if I ever get like a bad reception on a like a snippet, or like someone says, "Oh, bro, this isn't good," or whatever, I do try and look at that comment and go like, okay, where's he coming from, and is he talking sense? You know what I'm trying to say? Because sometimes I have put something out and I'll be like, and someone will just, some random will be like, this is shit or something, and I'll be like, okay, hold up. Like I could either just delete the comment and just fucking go whatever, but like in my head, I do like to semi-listen to people's ideas.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm probably setting myself up right now for the fucking hate comments,
Mate,
but
you might be, bro. And I actually struggle with this trait. I struggle with this personality trait, and it's the idea of constructive criticism. Like when you word it like that, it's easy to take, but in reality, everyone's opinion is neither right nor wrong. Just because someone says they like something doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like if this person says this is trash or whatever, he has the
he's
same.
Actually right, you know what I mean?
But he has the same. In a way, he has the same idea as someone that tells me this is the best song I've ever heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just because that person has said he likes it. Okay, like he likes it. I'm happy for him. Like I'm really happy that he likes it. If this person thinks it's trash, I'm like, okay, how can I get better?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's got to be that in between of like, yeah. So
and that's a hard thing for me in my own life to be able to do, because
it is hard. It's a hard thing.
I'd rather just not know if someone doesn't like something about me. And there's a quote that I kind of like that helps me with that mindset, where it's like, if you have a bad opinion on me, you either don't have my how does he word it? But it's something like, if someone doesn't like me, they can either call me or they don't get to have an opinion whether they like me or not. You know what I mean? It's only the people close to me that I really care about how they think. So I've had people on the podcast before and they've said things like, because they're podcast hosts themselves, and they'll like have commenters comment on their shit and they'll go back and forward like you know, with the fucking hate comments like, oh yeah, well what are you putting out there? You know, oh fuck, you think this, that. I'm like, bro, you can't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can't go back and forward with the hate.
Yeah. On top of what I was just saying there, though, I do try and, there's another quote that I do try to stick by with it is don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from.
Yeah.
And it's true. If someone tells me like, oh, gives me criticism about something and I wouldn't take their advice, it's like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's just, we got two separate minds. You know what I mean? Like if you say like, oh, make screamo because it's better.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I mean? Like no. You know what I mean?
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So it's like I wouldn't take advice from him, so I also wouldn't take criticism. So it's just there's that balance.
It's honestly a hard balance to be able to have, in my opinion. Like I don't know if I have that, and it might be, realistically, if I'm going to be honest about it, it might just be insecurity. But it's like, if I hear something I don't like, I'm like, it didn't happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have, bro, to be honest, I don't read a single comment on any Instagram thing I put out. I don't read any of my YouTube comments. I appreciate everyone who does, because it actually does help the algorithms and all these reasons, you know? And it's like, I don't ask for it because I'm not really that interested. What I'm interested in is being true to what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to push a narrative. So like, why do I care if people enjoy it? And it's a different concept to music, because music is also, in your case, a team building exercise. You have, you know, your producer, for example, you have your mate's input that helps. But it's also a community based thing. It's a bit different on my end because it's a one man kind of thing, you know, running a channel. But yeah, a lot of people I look up to, a lot of, especially comedians. They're the people I follow the most, podcast hosts and comedians, and they all say, I don't check comments. Like, there's nothing good that can come from doing it. You either get a big ego boost or you feel like shit. Then like that balance is where a lot of people struggle. You know?
It's true. Yeah. It is true. Because when you do get a lot of comments saying like, oh, this is crazy or this, that, the other, you do sort of get caught up in a, I don't want to say a you get caught up in social media with it. You know what I mean? Like, there's posts on my Instagram that's got like 50,000 views and stuff like that, and over 600, 700 likes and stuff. And I'm looking at that like, fuck, like that's proper. That's hectic. That's crazy. Then my next post might get just say 100 likes, and I'm like, well, fuck, maybe this song's not good. You know what I mean?
Fall off this that.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I
bro,
mean? Like,
I'm the biggest. Like, I'm getting a lot better this year, but last year I was very in my head about, because I do have a song on Spotify that is on
434,000.
Yeah. yeah. I was gonna say I know it's 400 and something thousand.
Maybe it's 474, but something 400.
Yeah, it's 400 and something thousand, and you know that got when we posted that, me and my mate Coley, it got accepted. It got put onto Teardrop, which is one of the biggest fucking Spotify playlists like in the world. It's got like 1.2 million likes, that playlist, and we were like the second song on it.
Wow.
Like we were just above. This is 2020, I think, maybe 21 or something like that. It would have been, could have even been later, but like I remember it. Like the song underneath us was Lucid Dreams, Juice WRLD.
Oh.
And it was made by Spotify.
Oh.
And I'm thinking like Coley, who's my mate, Saun, me, underneath us is fucking Juice WRLD. Yeah. I'm thinking, brother, I'm the biggest thing to ever come from Australia. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, holy shit, like
I made it, Mom. Bro, I made it.
I'm telling work, fuck, don't worry about me, man. Don't worry about pay this week. I'm all good. Nah, but I'm like, you know, I'm just trying to say, like, I'm thinking like, you know, I'm this, I'm that, and I ain't shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and
lost in the sauce. That's what it is, bro. You get lost, and I
do
it
you
too.
get lost in it, man.
Bro, I have a random episode blow up to get thousands of views on YouTube, and it's like, fuck, I'm finally there, bro. I'm getting the fucking recognition, and then the next time I might get like, honestly, like 80 or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. I thought I had it for a second there. You know?
Yeah, you get like that taste, bro, and you're just like, that's it. Like,
but maybe that's actually God showing what can happen with consistency. You know, I'm showing you this is a, you know what I mean? It's like, don't focus on it, but you will get rewarded for the fruits of your labor, you know?
Yeah. But I always say, like, everything in life is a lesson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I don't take the L, as in like, I don't fucking take the loss. I take the lesson.
Yeah. There's never a loss in life. There's always lessons. And that especially is like trying to say, like, when that song did blow up and stuff like that, like, it was honestly like a massive blessing. It was most, like, honestly one of the best feelings of my life. Seeing my name there, seeing my name, my creativity alongside the biggest names in the world was something that I'll never fucking forget in my life. And so grateful for Spotify for doing all that shit. But it sort of taught me, like, in a way, like, bro, like, you can do this. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it wasn't like a next song that I dropped that got, like, just say 5,000 streams. It's like, that's still a lot, 5,000, and I love that. But it's not like 500,000. And it's like, it's sort of like, you know, I took it to heart. I'm like, fuck, you know, is it because Coley's not on the song, or is it because this, or because that, because this? And like, now I'm looking back, it's like, it's just a lesson that, bro, you can do this. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? You can do it.
Yeah, it was.
You just got to fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was a gift, bro. Like, it was that little, like, you know, if I give this to you now, are you really gonna take it the way you should take it?
Yeah.
And it's like God, like, dipped it in me, and it's like, you want it?
Yeah.
Go on. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, now I double down on this shit and actually do it. So,
because you wouldn't appreciate it as well if something came, and I'm not saying you didn't try to get it, but it's like, the harder you work for something, the better it actually is, you know? And if you get something too quickly, and if it's almost like sometimes when things fall in your lap, you don't appreciate it, you know what I mean? Right. When you fucking work your ass off. Easy example is an apprenticeship, you know what I mean? If you automatically get treated like a tradesman, you don't have any appreciation for it. But when you start fucking getting treated like shit day after day after day, and eventually get to a position where you're a tradesman, it's like the feeling goes away. You still get treated like shit. It never goes away. Right?
Never.
But eventually you get your own apprentice and you get these things, and eventually you kind of just wake up in this thing that you've been working towards for so long, and you're like, fuck, I'm where I thought I was going to be. You know what I mean? And you're so grateful for not sweeping the floors anymore, you know?
Yeah. You're now telling someone to go sweep the floors and you're like, fuck, yeah.
Hurry up, dickhead. I was asking my brother. My brother's my parents at the moment. It's like, what the fuck do you think you're actually doing, you spastic? And I know what he's thinking. Like, fuck, why is he so hard on me? Like,
but he'll be the same in 5 years with his apprentice. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's just, it's
only perspective.
Yeah, everything will come in due time. I believe that, you know, like whatever you want in life, if you work towards that shit, it'll come in due time. It'll come.
Bro. Take risks, try your hardest, and life will give you whatever you want.
If you, bro, one of the best people like in the world, I know they've got opinions on him. Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
You listen to how he talks. He's like the person. If you speak something, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you have the guts to speak it into the world, it will fucking happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, it's like,
and that kind of circles back to something that I always think about, and that's that word manifestation, right? And that's that you speak something out into the universe, and people do it in all different forms of ideas. Like some people start every year with a book. Well, this is what I want out of 2024. You know, and they write down, and then they might set themselves a 10-year list. There's Jim Carrey. I look up to Jim Carrey a lot as well. He wrote himself a 3-year plan or something, or maybe it was like a 10-year plan. But he said, I'm going to do 3 movies, and they're all going to be massive movies. And then he actually wrote himself a check for a crazy amount of money, and he couldn't bank it until the date in which he wrote it. And by the time it came out, he had 3 fucking crazy movies got off, and that was the first time he was able to cash in his own check, and he was able to pay into another account his own money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been, and he believes that it might not have even been possible if he didn't write that down in the first place.
Yeah.
Because he manifested it. He brought that idea to life. To me, I can't see any difference between that and prayer. You know, manifesting something, asking the universe for it, is the Bible verse, ask and you shall receive. It's two in the same context.
Yeah.
Whichever way you want to look at it, it's still going to do the same thing. It's exactly the same thing as creating a business plan and working towards your goals. It's writing a list down your phone and crossing them off one by one as you get through the tasks in your day.
Yeah.
You have to put it out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
It's weird to even grasp that in my own head. Like, how could we be consuming the world that we're projecting? You know what I mean? What a fucking dance we're all in, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Bro, when you deep life, bro, it's nuts. Because you're like, bro, like everyone's living their own life. You know what I'm trying to say? Like everyone's their own main character.
Yeah.
So like, you know, there's people outside this window that have got their own struggles, own problems, everything going on. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
bro, someone right now is having the worst day of their life.
Bro, literally.
Someone's whole world is ending right now. They just got dumped. They got divorced. They lost their money. They lost their business. Like, bro, like someone right now, his whole world's ended. And like, I just took a puff of the vape, bro. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Like, fuck, it's crazy. It is crazy that everyone is their own main character.
Yeah,
you know?
literally, bro.
But sometimes you meet someone and you're like, you ain't even the main character in your own life, bro.
Nah.
What are you doing with your time, bro? You know what I mean? Who the fuck?
Bro. It's
it's deep, bro. I'm happy. And it's like, I'm curious as well because you are a believer. So it is a reoccurring conversation I've been having for fucking probably a couple dozen episodes in a row now. And that's like, do you believe, and you obviously believe in a God, right? But where do you find your proof in that? You know, how do you see there is a God?
Bro, you know, I got my own ways of believing what's going on. Like, for me, like, I just, knowing that someone's got me just gives me peace. You know what I mean? It just gives me so much peace. But the thing that proved it to me, like, you know, people have their own opinions or whatever, bro. My, it's getting a little bit deep for a second.
Please, I want to get deep. Open it.
My,
Open the door.
Only about a month ago now, my dad had a heart attack, major heart attack. And I was at the studio with a couple of the boys, and this was midnight on a Tuesday night. And dad had a heart attack. My mum called me and said, dad's had a heart attack. He's getting rushed to the hospital right now. in saying that, I haven't like, you know, I've been in my own head. It's funny because 2 days before that, I put on my phone reminder to have family time with my family because I felt like I was doing too much other stuff. I hadn't been seeing my dad and my mum too much. And I got this phone call at midnight, bro, and I'm fucking speeding. I'm going the speed limit home.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly speeding. And and like I get home, the hospital's going up the street in fucking sirens, speeding away. I hop in the car with my mum. My mum's panicking. Going to the you know, my brother's in England. We call my brother. My brother's like on the phone crying, and I'm seeing my older brother cry. With my dad going through heart surgery right now at fucking 1 a.m. My mum's like about to start tearing up. I'm to myself. I'm just like, bro, like about to start fucking bawling my eyes out. And I'm like sitting there in the waiting room, in the family room, and I just grabbed my cross and I just said to him, I was like, God, like, just, I know we don't talk as much as I want to talk, like, just give my dad strength to get through this shit. And we got talked to by the surgeon, like the person that was doing it, and he pretty much came in and said, like, you know what I mean, like, he's having a major heart attack in a major artery. This is like really bad. Pretty much in my eyes was pretty much saying, your dad's like, it's going to be very hard to save him.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, fuck, man, like, I felt like I wasn't spending enough time. I felt like this, that, the other. I'm like, fuck, you know, I've just fucked everything. And I sat there and I grabbed my cross and I looked, and there's a little what do you call the windows in the roof? Starlight. And I remember I looked at it up there and I just held it there and I just said, like, oh God, please give me and my family strength. And I know we don't talk as much and all this and all that. I can't explain the feeling that I got when I let go of the cross. In my head, in my body, in my bones, I knew he was going to be okay, and he's okay. Yeah. And like with everyone saying like, oh, this is going to happen, I was at complete peace because I knew God had him. Yeah. And I still to this day, I can never explain the feeling that I got because my whole body was like riddled with anxiety. Like in there, I'm like shaking, I'm like sweating, I'm about to start crying, and just.
Yeah, I know.
Boom. And it was instant. It was as soon as I let go of that cross, it was just boom. It was just peace. I don't know, as people say, you know, it's just like that you, in yourself, you believe that it was going to be okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, someone that does believe there's something above us, for me, it was just like that. I remember sitting in there after that, like that happened, and I was just thinking, what's this for? Like, what's... And I was like, bro, it's like the family time. You know what I mean? It's like, you gotta be better at this. You gotta do this. It's sort of like that. It's a shit way of showing a test, but it's sort of like that. It takes the big things to realize the big things. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I completely understand what you say. I think the word encounter is a powerful word, right? And encounter is just a message from God. And people think, and I'm not saying it can't happen, that it's a literal voice or it's an open up in the sky and you see God's hand or he speaks to you and no one else can hear it. And it's like, yes, those things can happen. I know because I used to take a lot of psychedelics and they do happen. Right? They do happen.
Yeah.
But God speaks to us through our body, through our feelings, through our emotions.
Bro, yeah.
It's like when you get a gut feeling of why something's a good or a bad thing, I think that's God telling you the answer. I think that intuition is an encounter. I think that all these things like, oh, fuck, I know I shouldn't do this, it's because you're being told don't do it. You know, how could you know when something is a right or a wrong thing if you haven't yet done it unless someone's telling you to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And that feeling of praying in that moment and just having that open dialect, like, I know we don't talk much, like... And it's almost an apology at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you realize, like, man, I've taken things for granted. Like, I know if I had the hindsight, I promise I would have done differently. That is, I talk about this with my best mate. everyone has a superpower in their pocket that no matter what the circumstances are, you can just reach into it and pray. And it actually fixes the fucking issue.
It does, man.
You know?
It gives you so much peace, and yeah, you just gives you so much peace, bro. Like, even if I do try and say to people that even that just don't believe in it, just do it just for yourself. You know what I mean? Even if you don't think that you're praying to a God or something, if you're going through something hard, pray to yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if you don't believe at all or anything, like, even if you just sit in your head and just sit there and just take a breath, talk to yourself, God's there. He'll listen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you don't believe in him or God is like, you know, we could be us two talking about it, and I know Johnny believes in it like anything, but like I'm saying, like, Johnny could not believe in it, and then it's like,
this is God talking to him.
Yeah, God's here. God's sitting right here, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, God is right there on another mic. Like, he's listening to everyone's conversation, and he's in us all.
Yeah. God is
I mean?
speaking to the people who don't believe through the people who do believe. You know what I mean? That's actually what is happening. Like, for the person who listens and they don't have an idea, they don't believe, they're like, nah, I choose to not. Just by us having this conversation is what I believe God is talking to that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're a vessel.
I haven't thought about that. Actually,
You know,
that's crazy. Yeah.
And that's
so
why
true.
like an encounter isn't just a gut feeling. It's not just, you know, an eye opening in the sky that you can see. It's also at your lowest time in your life, someone might just smile and change your day. That's God. That's my definition of God. It might be, and I like this metaphor, I lost $50. Fuck, my life sucks. Someone found $50 who needed it. God did that. You know what I mean? God is a massive word used to describe an overall feeling of community and the fact that we're not all individually going through this on our own. We are one entity being guided by 8 billion different vessels. You know what I mean? And I can get why people don't believe it, bro. I got to be honest.
No, I do too. Honestly, like for someone, that's why I'm not like super religious where I go to church and I do this, do that. But I do try and I do think he's looking down on everyone, and I do think that he's got our lives pathed out for us and all that. But I don't judge.
I think it's okay to be open about the fact that we can still be skeptical because we are only humans experiencing the feelings we've been given, which is free will. So I can empathize and understand for people who don't believe because it's like they're just doubling down on that skepticism, which everyone has. It doesn't matter how much you believe. Yeah. Like, you only find proof in the things you believe anyway. And unless you're willing to open your mind to it being a possibility, then you're going to be stuck in skepticism.
Yeah. Bro, you don't know until you're on at those gates. You know what I mean? You don't know. Until you've left this earth, you don't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can sit here and say, oh, he's 100% real, he's this, he's that. Till you pass away, you don't know. You know what I mean? So,
and even then, you might not even. You know
you probably you won't. You know what I mean?
You might not even.
So like, it just as I said, like I never. If anyone ever brings it up with me, I will never bring up. Like, I try not to bring up God around people unless you are a believer. Yeah. If it's someone that's doesn't really believe, I don't judge them. I just say like, okay, that's
because you get it. You know what I mean?
It's like I never will look down on someone for not believing it. It's just like that's. Like, as I believe it, you don't believe it. It's like I can't judge you on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost two in the same thing. It's just, the unfortunate thing is, and this is a term that I've recently come to because one of my mates has opened his mind to the idea of it possibly being real. So he's trying to find a path in order to not just show appreciation, but look for guidance. He's like, I just started praying. I just feel like, it's something that I need to just give a go. And it's like, he's been worried as well at the same time. Like, man, like, I feel like guilty because I'm like, doing the things I want to do. And it's like, I know God doesn't want me to do this. So I feel like, I'd rather not upset him, kind of all this conversation. It's like, bro, you got to understand, God doesn't actually need you. Like, you need God, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's as simple
yeah.
as that. People get lost. Like, if I have to follow these rules, I'm going to upset God. If I don't follow any gospel practice, whether it be Christianity or Islam or Hinduism, to be honest, it doesn't matter what you choose to follow. But people think I'm not concerned about whether I upset God or not, because I'd rather live the life that best suits me.
Yeah.
But all they're doing is they're living the life that doesn't best suit them. They're choosing to ignore that intuition and gut feeling, which is guiding them to get whatever they want anyway.
Yeah.
You know, you don't upset God. You just upset yourself.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. But you know, you got, as I said to you, bro, like, you have your own path that you want to go on, and it is your choice if you want to, you know what I mean? Like, as going back to that roads and destination thing, like, to get here, I could have gone on 50 million streets to get here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've picked the quickest way and I got here, you know what I mean? So it's like, I could have taken the left turn to miss this or right turn to miss this. It's just like, at the end of the day, it's just like,
It's the same process.
It's the same process,
yeah,
man.
It's the same process. I'm curious too, if you weren't doing this on your Friday night, what would you be doing on your Friday night?
Oh, don't ask, man. Fuck. Probably fucking in the city.
Yeah.
Watching Adam DJ. One of our mates, he DJs. He's a techno DJ. So he DJs. Normally, what's he normally, Fridays, Saturdays? Yeah, it's normally Fridays, Saturday. So yeah, we try, as he supports me with things, I always try to go support him when I can. Yeah. And when it's, suitable. But sometimes, like, tomorrow night he's playing out at El Patron, which is, is it these ways? Gregory Hills.
Yeah. It's definitely not here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is whoop whoop, bro. This is
we're in the bush. We're in a town right now. We're actually in a town.
That's crazy in itself, a town.
Yeah.
But so he's playing out at El Patron tomorrow, and his gig finishes at like 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like an hour and a half away from my house, and I want to watch the Champions League final at 5 a.m. So it's like, it's stiff. But so on a Friday night, bro, it's either going out or honestly staying home playing COD.
Yeah, mad.
With the boys, bro.
John, I've been loving COD too. Fuck, I'm honestly mad jealous. I built this whole fucking setup, bro, to play COD. I got cameras set up for streaming, all this, that. I downloaded 11% of COD when it came out. I haven't even finished downloading it yet. And who knows how long ago COD came out, bro. I don't even remember.
Bro. Yeah, no.
Yeah. And, I wish, but there's no time. Like, I can't. I got too many other things I'm trying to do. With the studio as well, I'm curious, how did you find where is your studio first that you go to?
It's in Sydenham.
Oh yeah.
Sydenham. Yep. So it's called Metronome Studios. They're great guys there, man. They're really good. But so I don't know how we found them actually. I used to go to this place called Kiln, which is just up the road from it. And they're more high end studio, more money, higher grade equipment and stuff like that. And we'd go there. I think I'm trying to remember the rates that it was there. I think it was for 4 hours or 5 hours. It was $250.
That's actually not bad, I reckon. Like that.
It's not too bad, bro. But at the place we're at now, it's 120 for like 8 hours. So it's
bro, that's actually sick. I couldn't rent out my studio for that. No way.
Nah. Yeah. And like for our Tuesday nights, like they give us it for 95 for the full night, pretty much. Like from 5 p.m. to pretty much whenever we want to leave. You know what I mean? Like we just used it so much. Like they offered us like a residencies type shit that we use it.
And do people work there at the same time, or is it just like an open facility for you to go in and use?
So it'd be just like this with the computer set up. There's a booth with a mic set up. And they literally would just unlock the door. I go in with my boys, and we used it up till the time, and then they'll come back in, unlock it for the next people, and we'll go out. We'll just switch.
Oh, nice. So you can just leave whenever you're ready and the door locks
Yep.
on the way out.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. What a fucking setup. I didn't know it was
Bro,
like
it's
that.
nuts, man. It's just a really good setup. Like, it's not by any means it's not like a high end studio like or anything. It's like I go in there with my laptop and I just plug it in and use their microphone and stuff like that because I got all like what I need on my laptop. But it's such a good space, man. Like if you are in Sydney and you're trying to do music, bro, it goes Metronome for sure.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell my mate this as soon as I'm going back and editing it, and I'm like, yeah, sweet, I'm gonna
Metronome. Yeah, bro. Literally, it's just like it's just so easy, man. Like literally, you can just rock up there, plug your laptop in, and you're there for fucking 6 hours.
Yeah,
and it's really nice studio. So
it's sick too because it's like, do you feel like you get to that is a place for you to use your creativity in a way, like you've been saving it all up and this is the spot in which you can let it out?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, the studio, it's like it's almost like my safe space, you know what I mean? In a way, like I can let out, you know what I mean, and just let my brain do its thing, you know what I mean? And sometimes you get restricted to that in life and at work and at with everything, bro. You can get restricted to doing fucking nothing that's doing anything for your mind. So yeah, I do feel like when I go into that studio, it's just like that place where I can just let loose, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like everything that I've been thinking of for the past week, I can just I go in there, close the door, phone off, and just let my mind fucking run, bro.
Yeah.
It's the best thing to do, man. Even if your safe space even is like playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Bro, just turn your phone off. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a good
get
point.
off.
That's a good point, actually. That's a really nice
Bro,
one. Yeah.
it's like just if your mind's like if you're doing something and in the back of your mind like there's a group chat buzzing or there's a girl that's messaging you, it's buzzing, this part of your mind's there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's waiting for a message or it's this, that, the other. If you know off, your whole mind is set on what you want to do. And that's just, for me, it doesn't work for everyone. You know, some people need that.
Yeah.
I guess like support thing. There's like their social media or their whatever, you know what I mean? And
I feel like that's the word flow state, you know what I mean? I feel like to enter the flow state, you have to really exit everything else and you enter that thing. And it's like another way of saying, let those thoughts come through you, you know, let those ideas come to life. It reminds me of a point I was meant to bring up before as well. When it comes to expressing creativity, it really is something that finds you, like literally, because they're finding scientific proof about it. Because there's been cases now where people have thought of song lyrics, right, to create a song about, thought of the beat, how they want to present them, the style, and then they never actually even wrote it down. It was just a thing in their head.
Oh, bro.
And then it's actually released 6 months to a year later. They've heard the thing that they've thought. And people have had the same thing where a dream, they've thought of a painting or an idea, you know what I mean? They've seen the painting, they've never painted it, and then someone else paints it and they see it online, you know? And it's like the idea needs to come to life. So you have to let it. If you're not going to be the vessel who gets to do it, then someone else is going to reap the benefits of doing it. You know?
Yeah.
You've got to let it
It's
out.
funny you say that, actually. I made this song. So there's a song by the kid Laroi and it's called Erase You. Have you ever heard that song?
Yeah.
So that song, literally, I'd say would have been about a year before it. That whole chorus, I made a song with literally the exact same chorus to it.
Yeah.
Never heard anything from his side. Never made any, like he would never heard anything from my side, obviously. But like it was, like if I had it on my phone, I could play it.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was literally pretty much bar for bar, line for line, cadence, everything.
Yeah.
Was just exactly the same as how he did it. And it's funny you say that because it's like, I did it as like a little reference track and I'm like, oh, this would be cool, whatever. And I never did it.
Yeah.
I have it as a song, but I never did it properly and I never like went to release it or anything like that. It's funny you say that. It's like, maybe that was the hit song that like,
yeah.
that was there, but I just didn't choose to jump on it.
I've done podcast episodes, and this is way back in like before I even released anything. This was like when I had the idea for the first time, and I did make a list of things to talk about kind of with my mate, but then I kind of just let it happen because I was kind of figuring it out. And everything we said, I was like, yeah, it's cool, but you know, I'm still practicing. I'm not ready to release it yet. And I trashed the idea of it. Then I started releasing episodes that I'd filmed after that. And I think within my first week or two of doing it, Nelk Boys, who I always follow everything they do, they dropped a full send podcast. Every single thing they said and talked about was what me and my mate talked about. And it was it was like one of the questions might have been like, would you cut your dick off for $10 billion? Something random, right? Something like as random as that. And they asked that same question, you know? And it was like, it blew my mind, like, fuck me. Like, if I had to release it, I could at least get the credibility, like, yo, they stole my shit.
Yeah,
you know
stole your shit. Yeah, 100%, bro.
Yeah. But I never put it out there, bro. So it had to come out through someone.
Yeah. Would you cut your dick off for $1 billion, bro?
Oh, no. Realistically, bro, if my dick didn't work, I'd kill myself, eh?
Oh, bro.
Like, what would be the point? Like,
$1 billion, but
what would be the point? Maybe if I had $1 billion, I'd blow it as fast as I could. Like, I really,
yeah, it's true.
I'd blow it as fast as I could. I think about this. I was actually thinking about this maybe yesterday. So I want to know what you think. I'm not saying I believe it. It's just an idea I have. I feel like everything that we do in life is to get pussy, bro. Everything,
bro.
I don't know if I've
that
deeped
is
it
so
enough,
real.
but it's like the car we want to drive, the house we want to buy, where we want to live, how we dress, what we want to do with our lives, the job we choose to do, how much money we need, where to invest it, even to affect things like travel. I don't know, in my mind, it's kind of like for the experience of doing it. And then if I go deep enough, it's like I get to share that experience with someone. You know what I mean? Like, it's like...
It's true, actually.
I think I live my life...
For pussy, bro.
Pussy, bro. You know what I mean?
Bro, in a way, we all do, don't we, bro? Yeah. Real shit. Like,
that's fucking crazy, bro. And I heard this comedian actually recently talk about something to do with like... He's like, it's crazy that all men want to do is just like get pussy. It's the reason why guys do anything for girls, especially. Like girls might think, oh, he wants me for this reason. He just wants to get into your pussy. And then he goes,
hey, not me.
yeah. Hey, I'm trying to be your rock, baby. It's all like, yeah. And he's like, and what's crazy about it is there's nothing in there.
Bro, nothing.
There's nothing in there, bro. So if you think about it,
we're doing everything for nothing. That's a crazy outlook on life I've heard.
I'm glad I fucking got to say that. It's fucking...
It's so true, bro.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Real shit. Women run the world, man.
Oh, 100%.
Women run the world.
Yeah, hard. Men think we run the world, bro. We just run it for the women, bro.
Yeah, real shit.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
And they don't even want us to do it. Look around,
nah.
Bro. They're fucking over it.
Oh, nah.
Yeah.
They fucking no way.
Yeah. Who do you look up for your motivation and inspiration? Obviously, you have God to help guide you in your life. Do you have any people that you consume their stuff and you're like, fuck yeah, I like what they're saying? Whether it be artists, whether it be, you know, just creators or anything like that.
Yeah, bro, you get your I get a lot of inspiration through this artist named Lyth.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know Lyth?
No.
He's actually from Melbourne. He's so good, man. Like, but I get a lot of inspiration from Lyth and from, to be honest with you, bro, from people around me is the main thing, man. Like, you know, a lot of my motivation actually comes from my my parents, like doing, like my mum and my dad especially plays tennis and golf, and he's 70 years old now.
Yeah, wow.
You know what I mean? And my mum plays squash every week, and she's 60 odd now, and like they like, it's even little things, you know what I mean? They're just like, there's just little things that, like, even on a day I'll get home from work and I'll be wrecked and I'll just go to sleep and I'll just be sleeping. I wake up the next morning and like I'll have my lunch packed.
Mad.
Just that little thing just that gives me that little motivation to like, I'm like, well, fuck, if they can do it, if they can do those little things, bro, why can't I go do the things I want to do? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it's the same as like my mates, you know what I mean? Like, I see Aaron, who's my photographer, like he's so dedicated to doing his photography, and he's got a S15. His car, he fucking loves it. He's decked it out. Everything.
I swear, everyone that has an S15 also loves photography because I love taking photos of it. That's
Real
true,
shit.
bro. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he but it's just little things like that. Obviously, the big inspirations are like Kid Laroi. Kid Laroi's massive.
Bro, I reckon Kid Laroi is probably my favorite artist. I'm not even gonna I straight up reckon he might be my favorite artist. Though.
He's unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
He's he's unbelievable.
I've seen him in fucking maybe last year, the year before, maybe I think when he came to Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking hectic, bro.
I've never seen him. Oh, actually, we saw him at Juice WRLD 2017.
So jealous.
Wasn't it?
2019, I think.
Fuck, was it? Oh, okay. So 2019. So that was his. Was it 2018? Oh, anyway, whatever it was. It was that first time Juice WRLD came out here.
Yeah.
And Kid Laroi came out, and I remember we just found him, just before it. Like just before it, I just found him.
Yeah.
And
that would have been, I reckon, maybe when Adam 22 I interviewed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I found him.
No, it was before that.
Okay, well.
It was before that because I found Laroi off a snippet that was put up by Lil Skies. I don't know if you remember back in the day.
Yeah, I love Lil Skies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a song together, and Lil Skies put it up on his Instagram, and I remember I'm like fuck, this song's crazy, whatever, and it had a little snippet of this other person, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? No one tagged, no one anything. I'm like, who the fuck is this? I'm scrolling comments, no comments on who it is, or this, that, the other. Anyways, like 2 weeks go by, and I see the same snippet, and I see this in the comments, someone said like, that's the Kid Laroi next up.
Yeah.
And I type in the Kid Laroi, this kid's got like fucking 8,000 followers, not even. I think it was like 2,000 followers or something. And I'm like, I'm looking at it, I'm seeing his music. I'm like, bro, this kid's nuts, man. Like,
yeah.
Where's he from? Sydney, Redfern. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he's got a song with Lil Skies, this, that, the other. And yeah, this is when I was just starting to make music. And yeah, it was massive. Like, I was like, I just followed like his come up from that, you know what I mean? And that in itself, so much inspiration, bro. Just to see kids so much younger than me as well. Like, I think he's 3 years younger than us.
Yeah, I think he might be like 21, 22.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I remember watching him, and I'm just like, man, like this kid's just like a hustler, man. Like he's like, you go back to manifestation. He's one of those people that from the day you saw him, he was saying, I'm going to be the biggest artist. I'm going to be the biggest artist. I'm going to be the biggest artist. Yeah. Like, I'm going to put on Sydney. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It wasn't like, oh, if I become this or if I do this. Or it was always, I'm going to do this. Yeah. Or I'm going to wait till I do this or something. You know what I mean? It was always that. And
well, he took risks as well, bro. I don't know if this
big
is...
risks.
I don't know if I'm making this up or if I'm just confused with another artist. But I'm pretty sure it was him who waited out the front when Juice WRLD came, you know what I mean? And just waited for his opportunity. As soon as he came past, he just had to play him one thing. He's like, just listen.
Yeah. He, when, who was it? This is the story. It was, but I think it was when he was younger, he was dating, when he was dating Michaela Tesla, whatever her name is. She would get like invited to the hotel parties up there, and he was either friends or dating her. I don't know the specifics, but he would like he'd say, "Oh, can you give this to the DJ that's playing up in that hotel?" And or give it to the artist that's up there, and she'd go up there and give him the USB or play a song for him, and they go, "Who the fuck's this? Oh, he's just downstairs. Oh, bring him up here."
Right, you're right. That is,
and that's how he got in there. Like that's
hustle,
some
bro.
people don't fucking realize that goes into that shit, bro. Like, to even think about doing that, like, you know, to whether it's true, he probably just played that Michaela just to get to those parties. You know what I'm trying to say, like, but bro,
that's so hectic, bro. That's taking risks and trying your hardest.
That's hustler mentality,
example.
bro.
Nothing even fell into the Kid Laroi's lap. You know what I mean? Like, he worked for it.
Nah,
you made me remember something that I wanted to ask you before as well, and it was about having an overall look on creativity and having a team and having like, you know, the boys around you who do things like help you create the content as well for Instagram. And do you put thought power into music videos as well? Like, do you think about them? Do you imagine them? Do you know how they're going to look? Do you plan
Yeah, I try.
for 'em?
Well, In Your City was the first like proper video that we did, but me and Aaron, or Aaron and I, we sit down and we would sit down and talk about our ideas. We'd toss them at each other and say like, look, like In Your City, obviously the name of In Your City, so we needed to do it in the city. We just wanted to do a little like visualizer with like this and that, but yeah, there's a couple of things in the works at the moment to do proper videos with really talented fucking photographer and videographer. His Instagram's Dean's Journal.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like, he's so talented, it's fucked. And he was just in the studio on Tuesday and we were talking about one of the songs and I played him the song and bro, like the creativity, bro, it was unreal. Like, as soon as I played it to him, he like explained a whole like 10 shots to me. He's just like, oh, we should do this. And then I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I bounce off that too. And I'm like, well, I was thinking we should do like, you know what I mean? And it's just like,
next step, bro. That's what that is. Next step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just being around those creative people, just, as I said, just like to bounce off you. It's just the best thing you can ever have.
Yeah.
It's like being creative all together to get that one idea together.
Yeah. And that's so sick, knowing that things need to come through a person to come to life, but it also can work together as a group. You know?
And that's why I do say to Aaron, and I will say the same thing to Zijan, Dean's Journal. I'll say the same thing to him. Like when we do it completely, I want him to have I sort of have ideas, but I want him to do his thing, and I want Aaron to do his thing. You know what I mean? Because although they help me with my music thing, it's my music. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's my creativity that's not on the line, but you know what I mean? It's my it's my general thought
your
process.
Baby, bro. Yeah,
yes, that's me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Music video is them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can toss them ideas and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I want their creativity to be fulfilled. You know what I mean? I want their idea and their image to be fulfilled. So I want them to do their thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, I've got, this is my page. Can we match that?
Yeah.
If they go, oh, I was thinking this or whatever, or we can do this. Okay, let's try and do this or something. And if it's just not going to work out, we just don't, you know what I mean? It is what it is. And I do this a lot with artists that try like the feature. I used to just jump on whatever, like if someone send it, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. But I'm trying to get into the habit of being more on top of what I'm on. You know what I mean? Like, not sort of just be on anything. Like, really match what I'm going for.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to do everything that is going to work for me. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's, or us, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I want to have an image and I want to, you know, do everything to get to that image. You know what I mean? I don't want to just go, oh, you know what, this guy's offering me $500 to do a feature. I'm just going to go do it and just whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't match my shit. Sorry, bro. I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course. That's sick. And to be honest, one of the hardest things to do with any baby, right, is to hand it off to someone else. You know what I mean? Like, literally, I'm sure if you have people have their own children, it's hard to hire a babysitter. But the same concept comes into play where it's like everyone that I watch who's a big YouTuber, they started off on their own or maybe in a group of 2 or 3, and then eventually they had to hire someone and give up the responsibility of the entire thing. They could explain it how they want it, but they really have to let people cook, bro. And I've kind of gotten into a bit of a chapter. I'm going to see where it goes. I'm not signing up yet, but I'm trying to do digital media for other people and their content, like businesses, you know, like creating their Instagram reels and things like that, just to help promote their accounts. And I get paid a bit of money too, so I'm just trying it out. But I thought, and this is the first conversation I had, was like, look, you're asking me to do it and I can cut and I can edit whatever you tell me to do. But I also know how I think things should look. So if this is what you want me to do, I'm going to do it. But here's what I suggest we do instead. I'm going to remove this part. I'm not going to do this. We're going to, you know. And then the end result was something that the person was so happy with. They were like, bro, I'm so happy with it.
Yeah, this is crazy, yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, well, if you trust me now, let me take over the creative process. You don't worry about the business side of what it's going to look like. You just trust me, and I will make it best suit what you're after. Explain to me the things that you want to include, you know, but
yeah, exactly right.
let me cook, you know.
Yeah, you do your thing, bro. That's why that's why I always try and, if I'm working on a video or something, like I really want them to show their creativity skills, you know what I mean? I don't want to be the one to fucking boss you around and be like, oh, nah, I don't want to do that, do this.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
nah, man. Like if I really don't like something about it, then let's say, okay, let's look at options.
Yeah.
But
and I accept that too when people ask me to do that. But do you know Cole Bennett?
Yeah.
Oh, bro,
Yeah,
I love
come
Cole
on, bro.
Bennett. Love his story. Love every interview he's done. It's fucking so amazing. But people gave him the freedom. You know, every rapper in the beginning said, "Look, I'm trusting you. I like what you're cooking to do it." And what's his company now?
Lyrical Lemonade. Yeah, Lyrical Lemonade.
And now he's directing Eminem, telling Dr. Dre what to do, 50 Cent what to do. He's telling all these people what to do, and he still feels like, fuck, you know, this is a lot, but I just appreciate the trust they've got, and they all grew together. You know.
See it, man. You know, that's the thing, bro. Like, I'm allowed to be creative in my aspect of what fulfills it for me. They fulfill it with videography. Like, go do your thing, bro. Like, I'm happy. This is my image. Just if we can get to something like this, I'm happy. You know what I mean? And bro, especially Dean and Aaron, like, bro, they're fucking on another level. You know what I mean? They're just unbelievable. So like, just if you let them go and they'll bring back something, you're just like, bro, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
bro, that's how I feel with tattoos. Tattoos is like one of my biggest, I guess it's actually a passion, because like I actually find so much interest in it. I enjoy it. I think about it all day, every day. Yeah. Like, I'll go to my artist, and I have a good relationship with my artist now, and I'm like, sometimes I can just be like, just do
your thing, bro.
Do it. But other times I'll have an idea, and I'm like, yo, this is what I'm thinking. And then I just go, I'm happy to shut my eyes after I tell him what I'm thinking, and he'll give me something better than I was even imagining. At the end of the day. Like,
that's a cool way to be,
crazy, bro.
That's a cool way to be,
Yeah, and it is risky, you know. Like, trust, I could have woken up with a fucking something so shit.
Oh, bro.
But I took the risk with him. He fucking gave me something I was so happy with. And then every time now, like, I'll book in a session, and I'll be like, he's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know.
Whatever you want to do, bro.
Yeah. I'm sure I can give you like a couple of things I've been thinking of lately. But
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to be, bro.
Yeah, you have to.
It's a hard.
You have to.
It is a hard way, especially with tattoos. That's a hard one to just put the trust in it.
Yeah.
But it's a good way to be, bro. Straight up.
Yeah, people have their thing, and you just gotta let people. You just gotta let people do their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we try and do everything on our own, we're not gonna get anywhere.
No way, bro. No way.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I have got a final question that I do like to ask everyone towards the end of the podcast. I hate wrapping it up, but there does always become a point in which it's like,
yeah, it's long.
It'll either go forever.
8 hours,
you know
bro.
I mean? And I've been down the road of like 5-hour episodes, this and that. And tell you the truth, I'm the one that has to edit it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah. Before I ask you, but I have to say I appreciate all the effort you've given me today just by coming.
Oh, bro, I appreciate you having me, man. That's honestly, I'd travel 5 hours to be here, man. Like,
gang.
You know what I mean? This is anyone that puts their effort into something and their passion into something, bro, I'm happy to help out, obviously. Like, and I'm happy to do whatever to help, you know what I mean? And
yeah, beautiful.
I'll fucking be there.
Well, fucking all the love. I'm gonna say love again at the end, but the final question is, it's something that I do actually find a bit of passion towards, because I feel like it's not a conversation people talk about enough, and I've been on ends of it myself, and I also know people that deal with it. But it's about mental health. So the question I ask is always the same. If someone came to you because they were feeling depressed, mostly because they were lost, what would you say to that person?
I'd just tell them, bro, look, life, I'd try to find out what the problem is, what's going on in their life, like what's happened, you know. But at the end of the day, bro, life is, you just had a down spot. As I said to you about dreams is always going to be a nightmare. you're just at a nightmare. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, if you stay strong and you stay true to yourself, you look out, you look for your people, you look for your friends, your family. Even if you don't think they're there, there's people there, bro. Like, it doesn't matter who the fuck you are, there's somebody there. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's always gonna be someone. And if there really is nobody, send a random message. Send 5 random messages to people. At least 3 of them will reply to you, and they'll look out for you, because people are a lot more open than you give credit them. You know what I mean? I could send 100 messages to people, and they'd, you know, I'd say at least 90% of them would say, "Bro, what's going on?" You know what I mean? And just talk about your feelings. You know what I mean? Everyone goes through shit. Everyone goes through downs. Everyone goes through ups. Just because you're at the happiest point in your life doesn't mean it's going to stay. Just because you're at the most depressed point in your life, it's not going to stay. You know what I mean? If any of my mates ever go through that, bro, like, I'm always there.
Yeah.
No matter what the fuck's going on, I'll drop. Doesn't matter how much I love music. Doesn't matter how much I'm doing this or how much this, that, the other. I'll drop everything. I'll be right there. So, yeah, just stay strong. That's literally the thing. Is just, for me, like, if I'm ever feeling lost, confused, or just depressed, bro, like, just fucking battle through it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's a hard thing to say, like, battle through it, because it's fucking hard to battle through some shit sometimes.
Right.
But bro, I'm telling you, next week you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
And if you're not good next week, the week after you're gonna be good. You know, I'm telling you, it's always gonna be up.
Yeah.
No matter what the fuck goes on in your life, it's always gonna be an up.
Yeah. I think one of the most important things you said through that, and I love the question because there's always a different answer every time I ask it.
Yeah.
Is talk about it. You know what I mean?
Talk, bro.
Yeah.
Literally, there's like, it's the number one thing. Bro, like, today I'll go home and having talked about everything, even just here with you boys, bro, I'll go home with no problems in my head at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just about talking.
Yeah.
We didn't even really talk about any, like, my problems or anything, but it's like, just talking, bro. It's just the number one thing, man.
Yeah,
Is
it fixes
and it's
everything.
never be, and never get. Another thing I would say as well is never get too bogged down in life. You know what I mean? You perceive however you perceive life is how you're gonna feel. You know what I mean? Like, if you are lying in bed thinking to yourself, "Oh, you're a fucking loner. You're this, you're that." That's how you are. That's how you're gonna be. But if you're in bed, lying in bed, and you're like by yourself, whatever, and you're like, "Fuck, all right, let me call the boys." And you call a couple of boys. "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing nothing." "Oh, I'm come pick you up. Let's go for a feed."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you're not a loner. You're a loner with your best mate. You know what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
it's always about, like, taking that step to just talk about it and do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's never going to fix itself. And being strong enough to be able to admit that something's not wrong and to work on that shit is like the first step.
Oh, that's such an underlying truth, but like, it's actually the strongest thing in the world to admit that you can't always be strong. You know what I mean?
Brother, I go through some shit, man. Like,
yeah.
we didn't even really get into, like, my just past sort of like relationship situationship that went on for like 2 years, and why I went to England, bro. Like, I was so depressed. Like, he can verify how not myself I was. And you know, bro, it's just looking back at this situation, like, I'll never be like that again, because I just know that it gets better.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, I can speak this from experience as well, because I've also climbed out of feeling like shit. But when you feel like shit, you honestly just think this is it. You know what I mean? You really do believe in that moment.
Yeah.
Like, this is it now.
Yeah.
Like, life sucks.
Yeah, you can't see ahead, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think trying to live for the now is the best thing to do, bro. Don't worry about like the future. Don't worry about what past, bro. Just live for right now, man. Like, there's no better time than now, you know what I mean? Just do the things you enjoy doing, and if you're feeling down, talk to somebody. Even if you can't talk to anyone, bro, just do things that make you happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think trying to find that hobby in life that makes you fulfill whatever needs to be fulfilled, bro. Like music for me, man. Like if I'm down, I'm bogged down. I ring all the boys. They're all doing something, and I really can't go out with anyone, and I need someone. But I'll go talk to my feelings out into a mic. You know what I mean? I'll go talk to myself in a mic.
Yeah.
Even if you can't make music, or maybe your way of dealing with things can be playing COD, playing FIFA, writing on a book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's things to keep your mind active, and if your mind's not active, it's thinking about the wrong things. You know what I mean? It's going to activate itself. You know what I mean? So,
and it is about enjoying the moment. I swear to God, in my life, that's something I've learned in like the last fucking 2-3 weeks. It's like you can, and I know not to live in the past. That's depression. You know what I mean? You don't live in the past. And I've always lived in the future. And it's like I don't suffer from anxiety necessarily. I don't know what that's what anxiety is, always worrying about the future. But I live in the future. Like I think everything I do in the moment's like, who gives a fuck what I want to do? I need to become the person who's ahead of me. But like, fuck, you miss out on so much shit.
But that person's there. You know what I mean? That person you want to be in 2 years is going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
don't fucking worry.
Bro, I only just learned that. I swear to God.
Don't. There's a saying exactly what you're saying. Like the past is depression, the future is anxiety, the now is something. I can't remember the full saying.
Probably peace, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, real shit, bro. Because like,
and I guess that's what everyone tells you. Everyone who's a peaceful motherfucker, like monks and fucking all these like shaved head blokes in the fucking mountains, like they're all trying to be Zen. Zen means present. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly right, bro.
Like, bro, they've been saying this whole time.
Bro, the whole time since day dot, bro. Like, real shit. It's just it's just about being present and keep your mind active, man. Keeping your mind active will keep your head off things, man. Because real shit, if you think too hard about life, like how deep we just went.
Yeah.
If you're talking to yourself like the way we were talking tonight,
I promise you that's all I do.
Yeah.
I struggle with that. Like all I do is just deep every fucking thing, possibility, idea, fucking like.
Bro,
I like it, but I think it's fine. For me, it's creative.
It's good. There you go. Like that's
I enjoy
and that's
it.
good for you. Like because as I said, I last year when I was going through all that shit, bro, like I really used to think so much about like, you know, why isn't it this or why isn't it that? Why this? Why that? It's like, bro, like it's that because it is that. You know what I mean? Like just go with the flow, man.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I'm going through shit. You're going through shit. He's going through shit. Yeah. Everyone's going through shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you're not the only one that's feeling depressed tonight. As you said before, some bloke just right now.
Worst day of his life.
Worst day of his life, bro. Like,
and you know
just
what?
crashed his car.
It's only the worst day of his life so far.
Yeah, bro.
It's probably going to have another worse one later.
Real shit, bro. But like, bro, the other day, this is so random, but the other day at work, I was walking past my bench and I kicked the fuck out of my bench.
Yeah.
And my toe was killing me, bro. And I just bought these new shoes for work. And they don't have the proper, like fucking
sole.
Yeah, proper sole. They don't have the proper sole. So I kicked the fuck out of this bench, and my toe, like my pinky toe, is hurting like fuck. And I'm like hopping around. I'm like, oh fuck. And as I'm hopping around, I step on a nail. But like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like that shit. Like, bro, I could have been like, all right, that's it. I'm going in the toilet and hanging myself. I'm not doing this shit anymore. But bro, like, it's just like,
it is what it is, eh? What a quote. It is what it is.
Life is life, man. It ain't changing for you. It ain't changing for me, bro. Like,
no, it's mad. But our perspective can change, you know.
If
we can't change life, we can change. And it's like there's this fucking mad quote. I always refer to it. It's from Jordan Peterson. It's from his book 12 Rules for Life. The title of the book is, "If you want to fix the world, clean your room." You know what I mean? And it's like, it reminds me of, there's a Macklemore lyric that's very similar as well. Macklemore was actually a fucking straight up poet, like honestly.
Bro.
He's so deep with his lyrics.
Yeah.
But he has this song called Growing Up where he writes a letter to his son that hasn't even been born yet.
Yeah.
And he says, one of the lyrics is like, "Don't try to change the world, find something that you love and do it every day. Do that for the rest of your life and eventually the world will change." Wow. And I'm like, fuck, bro. That's how you change the world. You know what I mean? Like, you can't change the world, but you can change yourself. and that changes the world. Fuck, love it.
Bro,
Love it.
my dad told me. My dad probably wouldn't even remember saying this to me, but I remember it. It was a saying that he said to me when I was first starting to do music, and I was thinking, and I was trying to do soccer as well, and I was doing this and I was doing that, and I talked to my dad about it, and my dad told me, you can't live a dream, but you can dream to live. Wait, is that the right saying? I'm tripping. I got it written down. I don't think that's the right saying.
I'll do you good, but I'll delete it.
Yeah, right.
My dad told me.
Take 2.
And then I cut to me. I cut back to you.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, there you go. Can't live without a dream. You can't live off a dream, but without a dream, you can't live. And it's to say like, bro, you can't live like the dream. You know what I mean? Like you can't live off that. Like saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be that, or whatever. But without that dream, you can't live. You know what I mean? It's just you just can't.
Then you just exist.
You just exist, bro. You gotta have goals, aspirations that you want to live to, but that's not your life. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's sort of trying to say like, live for now, and have those goals that you're working towards, but don't make them your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still got everything in life to worry about. So
yeah. No, I love that, bro. Dad's a wise man, bro. Dad's a wise man.
Come here. My dad's gonna hate me for fucking that up so bad, bro.
Nah, thank God and thank you. I was gonna say thank God for the effort he gave you back. You know, when you asked and prayed to have your dad. He's obviously a massive role in your life. I thank God honestly for as much opportunity as I can, but I really appreciate just doing this episode in general, bro. You've helped me unlock and want to keep doing my creative passion. It's like, fuck yeah. What am I not doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm happy, bro. It's a good it's good, man. It's good to see this type of shit, bro. Honestly, it's refreshing. It's refreshing talking to people with like mindsets like this, bro. And it's good. Keep doing you, bro, and you trust me, all this shit will come.
Yeah.
As we were saying, bro, just keep going at it, and it'll happen. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
oh, bro, I know exactly what you're trying to say because that's exactly what I was going to say to you.
Right, it's as I said to you, bro. Like, if you want something so bad, it'll happen. Yeah. And you just got to work towards that. You know what I mean? So just keep pushing. Keep striving for the best, bro, and you'll fucking get there for sure. Yeah.
Well, live by your own words, bro. I want the same thing for you as well. That, I really enjoy doing podcasts because I kind of feel like I have the origin stories of a lot of people for like in 20 years. It's like, fuck, look at this. You know what I mean? Like, it's mad. It's not like, oh, I was the first person to get him. It's just mad knowing that I got to be a part of the journey with people, you know? It's something that I've realized along the way. But I'd love to do another one day in the future. All right. I want to go deeper into the whole situationship, relationship, the cause you to leave, find out the downs. So we'll go deeper. All right. Yeah, I'll definitely have things to get off my chest as well.
Yeah, bro. We'll do it for sure, man.
Yeah, but until then, bro, I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Of course. All love, bro. All love.
Yeah, gang.
Thanks, Johnny, for setting it up. Huh?
Yeah, nah.
The shook night over there.
Shout out, Jono. All right. Well, for everyone listening, thank you for making it to the end of the episode. It was another amazing episode this week. There'll be another amazing episode next week. And until then, that's a wrap.
Love.
Had to put her on.
Fucking hell, bro.
Yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty going high, I ain't tripping for the fun. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stunt.